Hey, what's up everybody? In this video we're going to go over the lightning build that I have, which is quite possibly my favorite build of the entire game, just because chain lightning, the way lightning works. This is what I've always really strived for in this game, to find the gear and find everything. I'm still having a hard time finding a single piece of gear that would really help, but otherwise this is what I have so far. And also I made a video prior to patch 2.1, and that build is very similar, but also I've changed just a couple things with some better gear. So let's get right to the skills. My primary is electrocute with chain lightning. Because they changed fork lightning into fire, chain lightning is really the only way to go, so that's fine. It increases the number of enemies electrocuted to 10, which is great, especially with a couple of pieces. So that's what I have for my primary. My secondary, on my previous build, I had Arcane Orb with Spark. And that worked pretty good, but for single targets it lagged, actually quite a bit. But it was great for AoE. That was a great AoE build. But now that they have changed Arcane Torrent, now they have Static Discharge. Now this is the way to go for single target in large, hard groups. I mean, even if you got the arcane power regen, you could just use this too also without the other chain build. So either or, it doesn't really matter. I like to use one skill for certain situations than the other, and then use this to kill the tougher enemies. So that's a great skill. You'll get a lot of crits off of that. Otherwise, as far as everything else, conjuration, I have storm armor. Now I did go before with shocking aspect. It has a chance to hit somebody for quite a bit of damage, a nearby enemy. I thought it was a group, but actually it's a single enemy. So instead, because of this build and using Static Discharge, Arcane Torrent, I went with Power of the Storm. So that reduces the power cost of every cast of this by 3, so I could use more of it, sustain it. And also the damage increases, so the longer I can hold it down, the more damage it'll do. So that's what I went with Storm Armor. So added damage and then also added regen. Familiar, I went with Spark Flint, 10% damage gain, pretty standard. Magic weapon, I went with Electrify for the attacks that have a chance to arc to 3 nearby enemies, dealing 61% weapon damage with lightning. I use this for AoE. But one chain lightning essentially can wipe out whole groups, especially with this, and then also I have a high area damage. Well, rather high. I mean, it's in the 60s, 70s. And then finally, teleport wormhole. Passive skills, I have paralysis for CC. This is a great one. Even though it is kind of random, it still really helps. Prodigy for gaining back my arcane power using my primary. Astral Presence to regen and more of a pool. And then finally Blur for defense. Now, as far as my build goes, I have no lightning increasing skills. Armor. My damage is solely on just gear alone without any lightning increase, which is fine. I'm still at, with my buff, 1.23 million. So that is pretty damn high, as you'll see. I could smoke shit pretty fast. Toughness a little low. Healing pretty shitty. Otherwise, my weapon is Thunder Fury, of course. I do have actually quite a few of them. Fulminators, but I've been toying around with both of them, and actually I have 3. I've been toying around with both of them, and I find Thunder Fury to be a better sword of the two. Fulminator is great for AoE, but Thunder Fury has an edge over it in single target, and also higher damage when it does proc, and it procs a lot more. It seems like Fulminator doesn't proc that often. If it did, it'd be a great sword, but otherwise my offhand source is Mycon's Ball of Hate. Naturally, electrocute can chain to an enemy one more time. So this one, along with being able to hit enemies, or well, 10 total enemies, or 5 enemies twice, or however you want to look at it, that's a huge damage increase. For the helm, I changed that. I think I had Arcane on it increase, so I changed that. I got a Great Helm for attack speed, crit chance, just the standard stuff. But I do want to change this out if I can ever find the Velvet Camarel. That would definitely make this a huge build. Just being able to hit 20 targets, along with Mycon's Ball of Hate. But the drop rate's so piss poor that I don't know if I'll ever see it. Otherwise, all my gear is pretty standard. But I also have these legendary gems. 2 of them are damage over times, bleed, and poison. That's good for about 750 damage, weapon damage per second. And then also I have the Teardrop of Star Weaver, 15% chance to smite for 2,000. So you'll occasionally see this and crit for 25 million. That's a great one too. So essentially all damage, including all the how many times I'm hitting people. So I'm dotting, hitting them with this. It's a big mess. Otherwise, attack speed could be higher. I wish it was, but right now I'm at 13. Critical hit chance real high, 55.5. Critical hit damage pretty decent at 468. Area damage, I have been trying to get this up to 100%. A little tough, but right now 73, so that's pretty damn good. You'll see in groups is a single electrocute could possibly wipe everybody out, and then just a little bit of electrocute damage increase. Otherwise, nothing special about the rest of my build. Really easy build. Really, you don't need Thunder Fury, and Mycon's Ball of Hate is pretty readily available. Everything else is just damage related and a little bit of defense. That's about it. Got high gems on everything. Took me forever. This takes a long time to get these. A lot of gold and farming of topazes, or whatever gem you want. It's a little ridiculous, but I finally got him about, I would say 170 Paragon. Otherwise, that's my total build, and let's see what we can do with it. And this is Torment 1, and of course I always go to Act 1, show you how quickly it'll be able to wipe out groups, mobs, without everything leaping at me. So that was a single shock right there. That was a single left click. And as you can see, it's just devastating. It'll tear through everything and then some. And then here I'll use my arcane. Oh, we're not standing that. My arcane torrent, and this is a ridiculous spell. As you can see, it's just, it splits and then it also hits like a truck over and over again. It's just, you can't beat it. I mean, like I said, you could revolve your entire build around just this one skill. It's that ridiculous. But like I said, this is one of my favorites. It works great in groups, or I mean when you're running with groups of people, because of the CC stuns, and then also you're able to lay down a lot of damage when you can just hold down the button and everything's getting electrocuted over and over again, especially with Mycon's Ball of Hate. So that makes it so that everything gets smoked real fast. But it's a simple build, pretty easy to get the gear. Thunder Fury might be a little tough. I've only found one so far in 170 some odd levels, but I haven't been spending any runes on it. I've been trying to get a few other pieces, so like I said before, it shouldn't be too bad to get with using blood shards. So definitely give it a try. It'll get you at least farming very fast, but to get everything out of it, of course, you want to get lightning. Lightning damage. I could only imagine if I had a good 70-80% increase to lightning damage. But then, of course, some of my other stats would suffer, but that would be great. Otherwise, that's the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. So that's my 2.1. Also, all my videos are seasonal on this character. Took me a bit to get here. That's why I haven't came out with one in a while, because I was getting this guy up and getting some gear, making sure that that's kind of where I wanted to be as far as the builds. But I'll keep these updated, and then show you if I ever do get that damn velvet caramel. Camarel. I always want to call it caramel. Anyway, hey, thanks a lot for watching. This has been Dread's Escape. And make sure to like and or subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video, found it helpful in any way. And I got a lot more videos, a lot more different types of games, and also I'll be getting a new system here coming up, so I'll be putting on the new next generation of games coming out for this winter, and then also probably World of Warcraft when Lords of Draenor come out. But otherwise, alright, thanks a lot guys. And thanks a lot for watching the videos, it means a lot.